The number one fear amongst all incoming dental students is thinking that their hand skills are absolutely trash and they'll never actually be good at dentistry. And I myself was no different. I remember that first semester of D1, I would literally be sweating looking at every prep being like, this is absolute dog shit. If you're feeling hopeless about your hand skills, I've been there. And the truth is, most dental students start off struggling just like you. But the difference I've noticed from those who make it and those who quit, it's not really talent. It's actually reps, it's feedback, and it's all about mindset. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you a lot of extra tips on how you can improve your hand skills, things I'm about to lay out for you in this video. Have had a young-eyed Akash about doing MO fillings on a 19 or a 3-5 bridge prep under 2 hours to now being able to do a full arch of crowns in under 45 minutes. And I think my preps are pretty good. All right, first thing you need to internalize. Everyone sucks in the beginning. It's a learned skill. Dentistry is one of the only professions where you're literally expected to do art with power tools inside someone's mouth. No one is naturally gonna be good at this kind of stuff. That's why it's called the practice of dentistry. Even now, every day, I'm still trying to find ways to improve, and sometimes I do get stuck too. Trying to find more efficient ways to get better resistance and retention forms on my preps. Like Kobe Bryant didn't get good at free throws just by watching. He practiced a lot. And that's the same thing with dentistry. My whole mindset on dentistry is about volume. It's about repetition. For me, extractions were very difficult starting until I started challenging myself and constantly tried to do more, faster, and harder cases. But if you never get pushed to the brink of uncertainty, you may never really improve. So I like to treat dentistry as a sport, and you should too. But you don't have to be a natural at this sport. You just have to be intentional with what you're doing. The second tip I'm about to share is very, very important, so listen up. My whole first year, I made a huge mistake. I would just keep drilling, but I would never get feedback. I thought it was all repetition, but in actuality, I wasn't learning from every rep because I didn't have another person's eyes look at my prep and think critically about it. So here's where I see most students go wrong. They'll do the same thing, drill 50 teeth and get zero feedback. You can't improve in a vacuum, but it wasn't until I started actively asking faculty, friends, and most importantly, upperclassmen, what would you change about this prep? That was the moment I really started to improve my hand skills. You know, a big part of D1 was ego. Everybody's got a huge ego. Everybody just got into dental school. They're about to be doctors. You'll see the name change in the Instagram bio, future doctor, but like it's failing your practicals. You have to be comfortable with criticism. Go to these people all the time after every prep and you will consistently move forward. You will develop better hand-eye coordination. Your eyes will see the prep being cut before you even start drilling. My third tip is to get your loops as early as possible. Loops are not optional in dentistry. Too many students go months and months without getting their loops immediately. Then they panic once they do get the loops in the middle of practical season where everything is an adjustment. That adjustment period takes weeks, even months, to just get used to how your hands move with the loops on. Your depth perception is completely different. But as you start to improve while using your loops, your hands become more efficient. You're able to slow everything down because everything is much bigger for you. And these micro movements refine your abilities to cut through the preps more efficiently. So definitely start early with your loops. I just bought the best pair of loops I've ever used after 3 years of dentistry. My back isn't hurting anymore. I'm looking into people's souls when I put these things on. They're amazing. I highly recommend it. I'll drop a link in the description below. And I'll make future loop videos later. And besides the loops, illumination is extremely important. I think it might be even more important than the magnification. I'm not sure if you realized it, but the mouth is a pretty dark cave. But the light reveals everything. The brighter the light you have, the better you're able to see the imperfections in your preps. You can see angles better, margins, and most importantly, your mistakes. Once I switched to the loops I got on now, I literally felt like I was prepping blindly my entire life. So definitely check these loops out. They're by Lumident. I really, really recommend it. Check them out. And tip number 4 is to master the mirror. Yes, the mirror is everybody's worst enemy coming into dental school. It could be a really good friend with benefits if you know how to play around with it. Know what I'm saying? using the mirror was easily the most frustrating part of dental school. You have to use it to see these really weird angles, or you're gonna crank your neck, you're looking invertedly, the mirror's getting condensed from the water and the breathing from the mouth. And then honestly, I used to hate using it so much, I would just crank the mannequin's head literally 180 degrees and just look directly the whole time. But listen, real patients' heads don't twist like mannequins. Force yourself to get used to it until it becomes an extension of your being. All right, and since you stayed to the end of the video, I'm gonna give you the tips that I think will help you improve dexterity if you're just about to get into dental school or you're a dental student currently. Number 1, soap carving. It's actually in the Canadian DAT for a reason. I think it is a tremendous help on just refining your hand skills and dexterity. Those really fine motor skills and spatial awareness, really helpful. It's good for visualizing line angles and shapes. There's a lot of similarities to soap carving and actual dentistry. The second one is called mirror tracing. It's when you're writing letters and tracing shapes through a mirror. It's a little tricky to get used to and it's annoying, but it's an easy way without having to go to clinic or sim lab. One time I would have a book in the middle, I'd have a mirror in front of me, and I'd be able to look through the mirror to see text, and I would be copying it here, right? So I'm just using the mirror to see things, and I would trace things. It's definitely really hard, really annoying, really frustrating, but it trains you to develop the skill that you absolutely need in this career. And the next tip I got for you is use a finger rest. Yes, without a stable finger rest, using your ring finger, putting it on the mandible, putting it on the adjacent tooth, you have absolutely no control. Build that habit now and keep that hand stable. Without it, you're literally just floating around the mouth, which is very dangerous, honestly, and you have no ability to make smooth, clean cuts controlled. I'm gonna tell you right now, every dentist relies on it. When I'm doing all on X or doing veneers and stuff, every time I'm using the finger rest. And the next tip is to train your mind before your hand. Think about each move intentionally and don't just blindly go back and forth. Think about how you're gonna move your hand in the mirror. Okay, I'm gonna move mesial. If you think in that frame, it's gonna help you develop the mind-muscle connection a lot faster. Then also think about the burrs that you're using to cut these preps. Using a really thin burr like a 557 is harder to control for me. You can find one that gives you better feedback and smoother results. For me, a bigger burr made me cut teeth less often. This is what I use to cut more teeth faster in private practice. All right, the last and final tip I have for you is to control that rheostat. This isn't a crazy fast sports car like my M4 competition. This is literally somebody's mouth you're gonna be working in. So pulse the pedal like this is your first time driving. Go very lightly, gentle presses. You'll be able to do full mouth preps using the rheostat and having much finer control with your foot. I'm constantly revving it all the way through. Rarely am I just slamming my foot down and just going nonstop. For certain cases you can, but in the beginning, rheostat's very important because you're just gonna keep burning through all your teeth and you're gonna lose control very quickly, and you can make really critical errors on your exams if you don't have good rheostat control. And all in all, dentistry is very hard. Even 3 years after dental school, I still struggle sometimes with my preps. But feeling inadequate doesn't really mean that you're failing in life or you're failing in school. It means you're learning. And once you committed yourself to dentistry, you've committed yourself to lifelong learning. I remember when I was in dental school, I used to doubt myself all the time, but the reps, getting better feedback, and constantly reshifting my frame of mind helped me change everything. Hopefully this helps you in any part of your journey right now. If you've made it this far in the video, please drop a comment down below, like, engage with the algorithm, because it's not easy to make videos like this for you with my busy schedule. I've got so much more cool content coming, so definitely subscribe. I'll catch all y'all in the next video. Let me know what y'all want to see more of, and I got y'all. Take care. Boom, see ya.